welcome to it. This is another video by myself, Michelle Kuleni. And I just wanted to share something with you guys that I was reading during my devotion last night. And, just having to find time to be with God has been such a mission in this time of motherhood. I used in the past, I would just go into it without a thought. I just go into it because I can and I have the freedom to. But being a mother, everything low-key, high-key revolves around my baby's schedule and how I feel after he goes to bed. Am I tired? Do I really feel like getting into the word? But the Holy Spirit has really been good, in navigating me through this season and showing me what priority is. That, at some point I got a thought, the Holy Spirit was like, I get that you're tired and I have grace for your tiredness, but at some level, you're starting to idolize your tiredness. You're starting to idolize the season of motherhood that's draining you. And you're forgetting that this is a blessing from me, and you should not be letting a blessing become a distraction. You shouldn't let the blessing take you away from the blesser that is God. And that was just something that, was in my mind as I was dragging myself out of that pit of complacency, to say the least. I think it was complacency. I was listening to a podcast that I did a while ago, 2 years ago, and I was reading, it was in the book of Isaiah, and I was talking about complacency and how we easily reach a state of complacency. But God is so good because I didn't have the context I have now then. And I think because I was always so on fire for God, I never really comprehended how one could get complacent. Like, why would you allow yourself to be complacent? Just get to it, spend time with God, do what you need to do. And in listening back in this season, with everything that has become like just a weight, a burden, there's a lot going on, and it's so easy to relegate God to the back. When in one season, God was number one because of the things that are happening. My husband even will say the issues of life. The Bible also speaks about the issues of life. There's a baby, he wasn't feeling good, he was teething. That's tiring. Anyone who's had a teething baby knows it's tiring, especially if they get, a fever and they have a temperature and it's this and that. Taking him to dentist appointments, pediatrician appointments, and all of these things, taking care of the household, and trying to take care of yourself as well. That's been a bit non-existent. But what I'm trying to map out is the issues of life are a thing, and the Holy Spirit was just showing me that there's no license for a believer to be complacent. And I remember in my early postpartum, in the first 4 months, I was always just like, oh, but God, I'm just exhausted, baby, I'm tired, baby's this, baby's that, and I felt like I was valid in my complacency because I was tired, and God gave me grace because I would still read the word, but it wasn't at the same level. I wasn't necessarily studying at the same level, but the Holy Spirit would just keep saying, I have grace for you in this season. But I promise you, the moment I reached 6 months or so, God was like, okay, it's time to get out of that slump. It's time to get out of that complacency. And it manifested not only in my spiritual life, but also in the way I was living physically. Like, I wasn't taking care of myself as I used to. I wasn't being as proactive in taking care of my household. I did what I needed to do, but it wasn't from a place of, I need to steward this well. And the Holy Spirit was convicting me that you're now using the tiredness and the issue of life, that is raising a baby and nurturing a child and grooming and raising them, and the tiredness that comes from that, you're using that now as an excuse to be complacent because you think it's enough that you're at church every Sunday. You think it's enough that, yes, you can just read, a devotion here and there, and that you attend Bible study on Tuesday and you attend leadership sessions on Thursday. But there needs to be an element of personal devotion. And I won't lie to you, in those first couple of months, I really lost my sense of personal devotion to God. I would worship, I would do this and that, but it was never that deep, And there came a time when the Holy Spirit had to shake me out of that complacency, and I thank Him for it. And now I can freely say that I'm moving better and better into that space of not necessarily where I used to be, but I'm coming to a place of understanding where God has me now and how I can pursue God in this season. And I think what we missed, and what I missed for quite a bit, was God, show me how to pursue you in this season, because the command to seek God, the command to pursue Him doesn't stop because of you have issues of life. A lot of us, and now I can even say myself included, because I never used to do it. God was a priority for me at all times, but motherhood has made it so that I started to relegate Him further back, and He convicted me of that. But I don't know what that is for you. I don't know what it is for you that has made you relegate God to the back, but I'm telling you today that the Holy Spirit is saying, stop using whatever it is as an excuse to be complacent. Don't use whatever it is as an excuse to be complacent, because He made me realize over time that the blessing is not supposed to distract you. The blessing is supposed to bring you even closer to Him. But we make the mistake that when He blesses us, we move away from Him. And then we wonder when things go wrong. We wonder when that thing falls through. You pray for a specific job. You pray for a career. You pray for all of these things. You pray for a child. You pray for the car. God's going to bless you. But then you forget that you still have a responsibility to seek Him with the same energy, with the same zeal, with the same passion as you did before He blessed you. You know, and all of this, man, this is just odd because I was not planning to share this. I was wanting to share Deuteronomy 30, but this is just what the Holy Spirit has put in my heart. And I'm going to sign out, and I hope it blesses someone. I need to go pick up my baby. He just woke up. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe it'll be beneficial for you, but don't allow whatever situation that you're in to make you complacent, you know, to make you no longer seek God. Seek Him while He can still be found. Bye, guys.